Welcome to the Point-to-Point Procurement Manager demo. This demo is designed to give you a brief overview of our web-enabled e-procurement program. Integrating Procurement Manager directly to your existing accounting program allows information to flow from one system to the other, eliminating the need to change any of your current accounting processes. It's also important to realize that since Procurement Manager is web-based, all you need to use the program is a computer with access to the internet. There are no software downloads required nor hardware needed to host the program. In today's business environment, we know how important purchasing controls have become, and we have automated many of these controls into this system. The first such control is the requirement for a username and password to access the program. Typing in the user ID LAE P2P DEMO and the password demo and clicking on the login button sends a request to the program for validation. Once validated as an active user, the program then reviews the permission levels of that user. This information determines what the buyer has access to within the program. Limitations can be set as to what catalogs are available, whether the buyer has the right to create requisitions or purchase orders, the number of suppliers from which purchases can be made, and organizational budgetary constraints. After verification of the login, the program directs the buyer to their organization's homepage. This page provides a summary of the current purchasing activity for the organization, as well as navigation to other modules on the program. This part of the demo examines the purchasing module. There are two types of orders that can be placed through the program: purchase orders and replenishment orders. Purchase orders are placed for goods and services, and replenishment orders are used to request the replenishment of items that are consigned by suppliers. Both types of orders go through the same approval process. During this demo, a purchase order will be used to demonstrate this process. An order that someone is still working on will be in progress. Once all the items have been added to the order can be put into a pending approval status, designating that it is ready for the review by someone authorized to send it to the supplier, or it can be released to the supplier if the originator has the system permissions set to allow them to do so. Both faxed and released orders have been automatically sent to the supplier. A faxed order will be received over a fax machine at the supplier's place of business, and a released order signifies that the supplier will be accepting the order directly via the point-to-point program. Once an order has been reviewed and the price, quantity, shipping instructions, and payment terms are accepted, the supplier will move the order to the acknowledged status. This acknowledgement indicates to the buyer that the shipper will ship in accordance with the terms on the order. Prior to items being shipped against an order, the order can be canceled or revised by the buyer. After all items are shipped by the supplier, they change the status of the order to shipped. This indicates to the buyer that all items have been shipped in full. After receiving all the items, the buyer then closes the order. Once closed, the order can be archived and removed from the current history on the home page. This part of the demo examines purchase orders. The tabs at the top of the page allow you to navigate throughout the system. Clicking on the second tab, Procurement, drops down a menu of options related to purchasing. Clicking on PO takes the buyer to the order summary page, where filters help the buyer specify the results of any search. For instance, if the buyer knows the order number, they can type it into the order number field. If they select information in more than one filter, the program searches based on all filters. All of the selected items in the filters must match the order before it will be returned on the results page. If a user wants to view all open orders, the filters are left blank and the program returns all existing open orders. To narrow a search, we can use the available filters. If we select Harris Turner in the released field and fasteners as our supplier, only items released by Harris Turner from the fastener supplier will appear in the search results. Clicking on the order number will bring up the detail for that order. The header of the order shows the order number, the supplier, the PO status, the person requesting the shipment, the ship to method along with the carrier, the name of the person that created the order, the name of the person releasing the order, and the date that the order was created. Scrolling down the page shows the details of those items ordered. For each item requested, the supplier is sent the manufacturer part number, the supplier's part number, the manufacturer name, the date required, quantity ordered, the unit of measure, the unit price and extended price, the tax rate and amount, a short description of the item, and the account to which the purchase will be charged. This part of the demo examines catalogs. Clicking on Procurement on the navigation bar opens the drop-down window. Clicking on Catalog opens the Catalog search page. There are two types of catalogs available, the Item Master and the Supplier Catalog. The Item Master catalog is one that has been custom designed for the organization. It may include inventory items, frequently purchased items, capital items, and/or any other item the organization would like to add. Clicking on the Search Item Master link will take the buyer to the Item Master summary screen. Like the Order summary screen, this screen also has many filters available for narrowing down a search. Clicking on the Search button without selecting any filters will bring back the first 1,000 items in the Item Master. Typing in the word hex space bolt in the keyword search field returns anything in the catalog that has the words hex and bolts on the detail page. The summary shows basic information on each of the items such as the manufacturer part number, the supplier name, supplier part number, buyer part number, short description, unit of measure, quantity on hand, reorder point, reorder quantity, quantity on order, bin location, criticality, and the stock designation. Clicking on the part number 0110141 opens the Item Master product detail page and allows the buyer to see much more detail on an individual item. Scrolling down the page shows the type of information that is stored for each of the products in the Item Master. If the item that is needed is not in the Item Master, the search can now be extended to the supplier catalogs available to the buyer. Utilizing the breadcrumb line at the top left-hand corner of the page, click on Product Catalog. This will take the buyer back to the Product Catalog page. Clicking on Search All Companies link below the Supplier Catalog heading will take the buyer to the product search page. Searching by supplier, part number, manufacturer, manufacturer part number, or keywords can help to narrow the search for an item. Choosing the supplier fasteners and the keywords hex space bolt returns many more items than the search in the organization's Item Master. If after searching the supplier catalogs the item needed is still not found, the next step is to send out a request for quote directly to the supplier. Clicking on the Procurement tab, then selecting RFQ on the drop-down menus opens the RFQ page, allowing the buyer to type the description of the product needed. Much of the information is pre-populated from the buyer's login. It is very important that a response date is entered and that the part needed is clearly described in the box provided. For this case, let's order 4,000 Gates belts, part number 8097. If a schematic or other document is needed to describe the item, it can be attached to the RFQ. Clicking on the boxes next to the supplier name indicates that the RFQ should be sent to those suppliers. Clicking on the word Finish sends both the description and any attachments to the suppliers selected.